Hello, Melinda Haynes, license number 102308. Remember, this stuff is not therapy. If you need therapy help in your own town, please Google it, ask a friend, get a referral, and find help. This is just for some general information. So what do I do if my child is hurting himself or herself? So as parents, we often freak out. We're like, oh my gosh, you're doing this, you're doing something. Now, sometimes it'll just be scratching, right? They take their nails and they scratch somewhere, and they scratch hard enough to where they're leaving marks and so forth. And they may throw themselves on the ground, hit their head on the wall, for example, pound them, punch their leg, or so I've seen some kids like punch themselves in the head, and just all these different ways, all these different techniques they use to hurt themselves. And parents, typically the natural reaction is like, stop that, stop doing that, and I'm gonna have to take you, I'm gonna have to take you to the mental institution. You need to stop. And we set these like kind of like anxiety borders around like this whole behavior, like, oh, don't do that, don't do that. Instead, another way, I know this is a suggestion, again, it's not therapy, it's just a general parenting suggestion, is to take it from like a kind of neutral, nonchalant, almost, I'm not saying don't take this seriously, but when you're addressing the child and you're addressing this behavior, you're going to take it from a curious kind of neutral perspective where, well, if your behavior is up here, then our intervention, is here. And if your behavior is here, our intervention's here. And if your behavior is here, our intervention's here, right? So we're telling them, we're explaining to them that, as an adult in your life, as a person who's responsible for protecting you and keeping you safe, I am required, and maybe these other people, your other parents, your aunt, your uncle, your teacher, your therapist, whoever it is, as adults in your life, we're responsible for protecting you and keeping you safe. And so we have to match the intervention according to what your behavior is telling us. And so, before your behavior was telling us this, so remember when we did that one thing, we did this, yeah, and that worked out. But now your behavior is like this, you're hurting yourself, you're scratching yourself, so our behavior, our intervention needs to be up here. So we're taking ourselves kind of out of the equation. It's no longer, I'm battling with you. You're doing this behavior and I'm trying to make you stop because it's freaking me out and it's embarrassing me and I don't like it and I don't know how to handle this. Where's the rule book on parenting, right? So instead we're taking ourselves out of it and we're saying, well, in the country we live in the state we live in the city we live, this is how we do. This is how we do as adults, as humans. We are supposed to protect people. And so that way you're then giving them the information that, I'm concerned about you and I know I'm going to have to, escalate my intervention. How can I help you? How can I meet your need? And are you ready to go there? Because this is what we're going to be doing next. This is what the next intervention is going to be. Now, this way we can evaluate and see, is this child acting out, as a way to like, aggravate you or get attention, or are they actually saying like, I need help. This needs to be addressed. Okay. Now, when we do that though, we've got to watch for other things, because if I'm a child, I'm a teenager, and my parent has just told me this is the next step in intervention, matter of fact, it is what it is. Well, what am I going to do instead? Like, I don't want to go inpatient, maybe I don't want that as a teenager. That wasn't my goal. My initial goal was to get attention, or my initial goal was to express the inner pain that I'm feeling. So now I'm going to have to find another way around it. Okay, so it's not just telling them, oh, this matches this. It's also setting up, something else for them to do and another way to express their emotion or to get their need met. Okay, so if their need is to express pain, then we need to find a way to express pain. If their need is to be rebellious and defiant, we need to help them with that, okay? Because it's not always about doing things that are bad or hurtful or wrong. Sometimes we can be rebellious in the way we do different things, or the way we think, or the way we dress, and it's still within limits. It's still within boundaries. So yeah, I change from this to this, but it's still within the boundary. So I'm not saying we just get rid of all the boundaries and let them go hog wild. No, we're still keeping boundaries because boundaries are safe and they need that. They need safety. So, so do we as adults. We need the safety. So it's all of those things together, and it's also getting in touch with a qualified mental health professional in your community. Okay, because if your kid is doing something like this, where they're causing self-harm, they're trying to get rid of anger, they're trying to get rid of pain, they're on purpose to rebel and aggravate you, we need help with that. Because when we are the parent, we get emotional, we get emotionally involved, and then you're my child and you're doing this stuff. Now I'm worried about you, I'm scared, I'm taking it personal, all of these different things. So I've got to get myself out of it so that I can actually offer my kids some help. Now it's hard to do as a parent. It's almost impossible to do as a parent. Okay, maybe after your 7th or 8th child, you got it down. You're like, yeah, I don't take anything you say or do personal. But for those of us who have just a couple of kids or something, few kids, we're going to take their stuff personal. And getting that other person involved, that mental health professional involved, can help us to stay calm, to kind of step back from it emotionally and say, okay, how can I meet you as your parent? How can I meet you here and help you walk through this in a way that's going to offer safety and protection? The whole point of this video, the whole thing I didn't want people to do is to come at their kids and, if you don't stop, I'm gonna call the ambulance and you're gonna be taken away into the mental institution. Because going inpatient should not be considered a threat or a punishment. Because once we do that, now we've labeled your pain, we've labeled your anger, we've labeled maybe your mental health issue, your diagnosis, we've labeled it as bad and as wrong and as dirty and as shameful. When instead, when we look at it like it's not a punishment, a threat, like if you don't stop, this is going to happen next. It's a matter of fact. When you do this behavior, we meet you here with the intervention. When you do this behavior, we meet you here with the intervention. So it's a matter of fact kind of thing. If you're doing the cutting, even maybe with a razor or something, if you're doing something that is self-harm, that calls for a different kind of intervention than what we've been doing before. So now we have to step up our game. So that's all it is. It's kind of like you step back out of it emotionally, you say it in a matter-of-fact way, you contact your mental health provider, your counselor, your therapist, wherever you are in your area, and you make sure you get all of these safe boundaries in place for that little gal or little guy that's hurting and that needs some extra support in place. Okay, guys, if that makes sense, I hope it does. I know I ramble and I apologize. Post your comments below. Hi, new subscribers, and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, thank you for watching.